Heather Kelly, and I'm coming at you today with Steve Unger of Metal Church. Hi, Steve. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Heather. How are you doing?
I'm doing great today. So, how was your Christmas?
It was a good Christmas. Everything that the governor said not to do, I did. I had all my friends and family over here, and we partied down, and we drank, and we got drunk, and we opened presents, and we ate all kind of food, and gave each other hugs and kisses and everything else.
Good,
And here I am,
good.
still healthy, and alive to tell about it.
Yes, nice.
It's amazing, right?
Yes. Yeah, so nice. That sounds like a very good Christmas. Lots of people and good fun.
Yeah, felt nice to see all my friends and family again.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. So, anyway, we talked a little bit before about some of the awesome things that have happened this year for you. And
Yeah.
you have gotten some really awesome, amazing awards. And I know that everybody out there wants to hear about them.
All right. Well, as shitty as 2020 has been, it has had a lot of cool things happen for myself and Metal Church. Let's see here. This time I'm a little more prepared. Check this
Woo!
out. So,
All right. I get to actually see the awards now. This is
so
awesome.
in January,
Woo!
Metal Church, we were all inducted into the Metal Hall of Fame.
That is
And
phenomenal.
yes, Stet and myself and Kirk Arrington went down to go accept the award. And, we thought we were going to get one award. We were going to have to share it. You get it for 3 months, you get it for
Yes.
3 months. But no, they gave each one of us one of these things. And, really cool to get acknowledged once in a while. And it's really cool to be in the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame. That's for damn sure.
That is freaking amazing. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that happened to us. We went down to the NAMM show, and from the NAMM show, during the NAMM show, this was the Heavy Metal Hall of Fame, and we were inducted into it. It was awesome. It was a great evening for us all. And then, just like within the last 3 weeks, I guess it was, I got a Career Achievement Award.
Woo!
For, yeah, now this is from the Los Angeles Music Awards and Producers' Choice Awards. It was kind of a strange thing because it usually happens in Los Angeles, but since California's locked down tight as a drum, they moved it to Las Vegas, and of course, they moved it to Vegas, and right when they did, the governor there totally locked down Vegas, and they're like, "No, you guys can't do it here." So then they moved it to Pahrump, which is about an hour outside of Vegas, which is basically still the Wild Wild West. And so we were able to do it. It was awesome. It was a nice fine tie event, black tie event, and great food, steak and lobster, open bar. I mean, it was a great experience, and good to see people out doing things again. And I actually got to get up on stage and play with the band Garden of Eden,
Right.
and yeah, had a good time doing that. It just felt great to be on stage and in front of people again, and I got my shiny little award here. It says Steve Unger right there.
That's pretty awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
that has to feel amazing to get those awards. I mean, just to know that you have made it to that level with your music is absolutely phenomenal.
Well, I'll tell you the same thing. I got up during my acceptance speech and I was like, hey, man, you know, I, I was just a kid fresh out of high school. I just wanted to be in a band. I didn't want to have a real job. I didn't want to cut my hair. I didn't like mornings, so I don't like waking up in the morning. So I wanted to travel the world and I wanted to get paid for it. And I love music. And, I like women. So all those things wrapped into
Those are
one
all
big
good things.
ball says, you need to be in a band. And so that's what I did.
Awesome. I'm like,
Yeah, I didn't set out to get, awards or anything like that. I just set out to have some fun, not have a real job, playing music, and get laid once in a while. And it's really cool because all these years later, I've lived the life that I wanted to live, and I still am, except for this year has been kind of fucked up.
yeah,
But for the most part, things have worked out. I mean, there's bands that are a lot bigger than Metal Church, of course. And of course, it would be awesome to be in Kiss or Whitesnake or Bon Jovi or somebody that's like monster huge. But we've had a really good run, and we're still going, and all the guys are still healthy and alive, and we're having a great time still.
right.
And look forward to things happening in the future here for us.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think about it in the fact that, my gosh, you guys are still touring, you're still doing all of that. I mean, that is pretty amazing that,
For a metal band,
yeah,
it's been a long run since 1984 to today, and the band's still going, and we're still putting out new stuff, and I don't think anybody in the band has an end in sight. It's just keep going, man. Just keep on keeping on.
well, I hope not, because I'm hoping to get to go to another show.
I'm hoping to do another show.
Absolutely. This year it's been pretty iffy, and everybody's been just having a horrible time with no work and not knowing
Yeah,
what's going on. But hopefully, we the new year is coming, and this should be coming out for New Year's Eve. So, hopefully new things are going to happen, and it's going to be a better 2021.
well, I certainly hope so, because I can't take another year like this one. That's for sure.
Me, I
Yeah, usually I've got like 160, 170 shows under my belt by now, and this year, the entire year, I've done 5 shows, and not one of them was with Metal Church. you
yeah.
know, uh, I did. I got a side thing that I do called the Live '85, and I've done last New Year's Eve. So because it was past midnight, I get to count that show for this year.
There you
Uh,
go.
I did a show also on New Year's Eve. I fill in and I play bass for a thing called Steppenwolf Revisited. So I did, that was another show. It was Alive '85 and Steppenwolf Revisited last New Year's Eve. And
Right.
then I was able to do 2 shows with Alive '85 and Sturgis this year. And then we did 2 shows for this achievement award thing that I did about 3 weeks ago. We got to play a pre-party the night before, and then at the actual award show, we got up and played a song or two.
I'm like, that's awesome that you've gotten to play a little bit this year at least. I mean, it's
Yeah,
so minuscule compared to how much you usually do, but
yeah,
gosh, at least to be on stage is a good thing. So
that's
so
for sure.
you mentioned Alive '85, and I'd love it if you would tell us a little bit more about that show because it sounds absolutely so interesting.
Well, Alive '85 is something that I did because I mean, obviously Metal Church is still my main thing, but Metal Church only tours like 3 months out of the year maybe, and there's 12 months in a year, so I got a lot of free time to do other things that I want to do. So one of the things that I do is I put this show together called Alive '85, and people are like, well, what is that? Some kind of '80s band? Well, what it is my influence into music was both Elvis Presley and Kiss. So my parents brought me to see Elvis when I was like 5 or 6 years old, and at that age, I was so blown away by what I witnessed that I was like, man, that is what I want to do with my life right there. And Elvis is what we grew up in my house. My brother and I, my parents, that's what they listened to. So I learned how to sing and I learned about music through Elvis. And so here we are, like all these years later. I've always been an Elvis fan, and I can sing Elvis pretty good. So I put this show together, and it's a tribute to Elvis, and it's called Alive '85. It's the show that never was but should have been. And the whole gist of the show is what would Elvis's show had been like if he would have lived into the '80s. And so we do all the big Elvis hits, of course, and then we take like some of the biggest '80s hits that there was, and we change the keys a little bit here and there so that I can sing them Elvis style. And I'm in the full jumpsuit, and I got the glasses on, and it's as if Elvis was putting the show on in 1985. Thus, Alive '85.
I'm like,
Yeah,
that's so
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And, a lot of people, they had no idea, they're like, that's the dude from Metal Church. What the hell's going on here? they got no idea that, that was my influence into music. And, a lot of people can't believe it. And then they see the show and they're like, dude, when I heard about the show, I was like, what the hell is Unger doing now? He's lost his marbles. And then they see the show and they're like, dude, that was badass. And
Yeah.
then, a lot of people have no idea that I could actually sing like that. They just know me as the bass player and the guy that's singing backups here and there. But actually front Alive '85 and sing all the Elvis tunes are like, dude, I had no idea you could do that.
I know. I can't wait to see that show. I'm hoping that that's going to come out and there'll be another one soon because I'm definitely coming. So
Right on. Well, look forward to meeting you there. And I think we met one time before, right?
Yes, we have. That your when you played 2 years ago in Portland, I met you at
Yeah, it
that
was
great.
Sin Circus, Armored Saint, and Metal Church, right?
Yes, yes,
Yes, that was a great concert. Loved it. That was a great tour.
it was. It was a great show. There were some great bands that night. And speaking of which, another band that played that night happens to be your son's band, right?
Yeah, Sin Circus.
Yes. And so they are absolutely phenomenal. Was
Thank you.
absolutely astounded by them. And your son is up for best vocalist right now, right?
Yeah, he's up for Male Vocalist of the Year right now. So, and that's, I think, show. I think January 12th is the date that they choose who the winner is going to be. So, we're all stoked and excited about that.
I know
Hopefully
I put my vote. I put my votes in. So why
I
don't you
appreciate that.
tell other people how they can vote for him?
Well, man, now you're gonna have to make me look it up. The
Sure.
best, the best thing to do is to go to my Facebook page, and there's a big thing on there. It shows a big picture of my son all rocking out with his bass, and the link is there on my page. I can't give you the information just off the top of my head, but
Great.
if everybody would just go to my page and put in a vote for Derek Unger as Male Vocalist of the Year, I would much appreciate it, and so would he. It'd be an amazing way to start 2021, my son being Male Vocalist of the Year. I mean, how cool is that? It's cool that he's even in the running, but to actually pull it off and be the Male Vocalist of the Year would be outstanding.
Yes, hopefully he's going to pull that off. I know that we've been trying to promote it and get other people to vote for him too. So
Right on. Well,
definitely Band for
appreciate that.
Bands has put that on theirs too. If you go to the Band for Bands Facebook page. Um, so wow. So and they started like you helped them sort of get started when they first started and they were what, how old again?
Well, they started Sin Circus when they were my youngest Derek. He was 12, and my oldest Devin was 15. And they started it out, and I was trying to find other kids that were of their age. Oh, look, my little buddy came to. He's crashing the party. This is my buddy Cornelius right here.
Oh,
Hey, buddy.
I'm like, man, you
Anyway.
out with my cat. I had to put him away in the other room because he kept yelling.
He's over here pulling on my pant legs, trying to get my attention. Anyway, yeah, they started when they were young. They grew up in the scene. I mean, when we were on tour, I remember one time we were out with Wasp and Rat and LA Guns and Metal Church. And I brought my boys out on tour for the tour, well, for 2 weeks of the tour anyway. And so they got to live on the bus and they got to meet all the other bands and everything. And they just, from a young age, they grew up. They've always had my studio here to come down and make noise on guitars and amps and sing over little PAs and everything. And it's just, they just grew up in the scene. They grew up with music all around them. And it was very natural for them to want to do. And I got lucky. I got two boys, and they both wanted to do something that I could at least, keep them out of some of the pitfalls that I had to go through before, I got to where I'm at. So hopefully I've been able to save them some time and, help them out. And so essentially, when the band first started, we couldn't find a bass player that could keep up with them. I mean, we auditioned 15, 20 kids, and, they not only could they not tune their bass, but they could barely get the thing out of the case. So I didn't want them to have to hold up and wait and not get out there and play shows. So I was actually Sin Circus's original bass player, because until we found a guy to take my spot, I was like, I'll go ahead and do it just so you guys can get out there and start playing. And I tell you what, I had a lot of fun being the bass player. But then the guys are like, man, we need to get rid of the old guy here. Get a guy our own age. And they did find a bass player that lasted maybe 6 months or a year. And then he ended up moving back to Alaska, and then the band was without a bass player again. So my son Derek, who at the time was just the lead singer of the band, he was like, you know what, Dad, fuck it. You play bass and sing. Why can't I play bass and sing? And I was like, there's absolutely no reason. And so he picked up one of my basses and he just started rocking and rolling. And Now here he ended up taking over the bass spot and lead singing at the same time, and now he's better than I am. So
Yeah, but
yeah,
you are pretty dang good. I thought they really command their audience to pay attention. So
oh yeah,
I know, like
yeah.
we started hearing them play, and it was a band I hadn't heard before, and we just like we were sort of in the back, and I'm like, whoa! I did a total 180. I think I was like, who is that playing? Because they were so good at what they do.
Yeah, they really are. And 2 years ago, it was a long time for a band that they rehearsed 3 to 5 days a week. So yeah, if you thought they were good then, wait till you see them now. They're just gonna blow your mind.
Yeah, we've all had a lot more time to do practice lately, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I I don't know exactly what we like Metal Church. We never have practices. We figure, hey, we've been playing these songs for 100 years. If you don't know them by now, you ain't never gonna know them. So yeah, what we do is we give the set list of what the upcoming tour is going to consist of, and everybody just kind of breaks out the CDs and play along to it in your own studio. And then we usually like fly into one place, and then we'll have like one rehearsal where we just run the set. All the songs are going to end it. If anything is like a rough spot, we'll be like, oh, remember how that went there? That one, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then we're off to the races. The first couple of shows are working all the bugs out, and then by show 3, we're like running like a machine again.
Yes. And I mean, because you guys have been together, you said since 84, right?
The band formed in '84, yes.
Yes. And now, and um were you the first bassist for the band?
No, Duke Erickson was the original bass player, and he was the bassist until I guess probably '94, '95. I think is when the band they just kind of disbanded and put everything on the back burner. And Kurt Vanderhoof decided to resurrect the band in 2001, I believe it was.
Mhm.
So they went out and they tried to find a singer that would fit the job, and that ended up being my buddy Ronnie Monroe. And so they hired Ronnie and myself basically the same day. So that happened in like 2001. So it's been, Jesus, 18, 19 years now that we've been in the band, or
Yeah,
I've been in the band. Ronnie's no longer in the band. We brought Mike Howe back, I don't know,
right.
about 5, 6 years ago.
Right. Yeah. And he is the who was there when I saw you guys play. And you guys did such an amazing job. It was really cool to see you guys. We had such a fun time that night. So
Right on. Well, that's what we're all about, having a good time. A lot of heavy metal bands or metal bands, whatever you want to call it. They got this. We got to be badasses and everything, and you come to a metal church show, and we're all fucking around on stage and laughing and fucking with each other, and people are like, "Dude, these guys are fucking hysterical." I guess we really don't we take it seriously, but we don't take ourselves so seriously that we're all like, death and blood and terror. We just have a good time. We like what we do,
I was
and we all like each other, so we get along great.
I was gonna say you look like you guys are always having fun up there when I saw you. So
Well,
that's
that's
awesome.
when you ain't having fun, you better find yourself another line of work.
That's right. And
Hmm.
and who couldn't have fun while you're playing music, right?
You know what? Anybody that gets to do what they love for a living, and if you don't have a good time with it, you're an asshole. I hate to say it, but Jesus, you work so hard to do what you've always wanted to do, and then you get to do it, and if you're not enjoying it, then get out of the way so somebody else can do it.
Absolutely. Well, that's wonderful. So now you mentioned your first two of your inspirations. One was Elvis, who you got to see when you were 5, which is absolutely so cool. But
Yes.
and also, I think you have also said that Kiss has had a really big influence on you now too, right?
Absolutely. So, I was, 5, 6 years old, and I was this huge Elvis fan. My next door neighbor, who was, probably 5 years older than me at the time, it seemed like every single day he'd bring over a new Kiss album. Dude, you got to hear this. And I'd be like, okay, let's check it out. And I'd be like, put on Destroyer. I'm like, holy fucking shit, that was killer. And then he'd bring it over the next day, dude, you gotta check out this new album. It seemed like Kiss put out an album every other day because he just kept bringing over new albums. And next thing you know, I was like, holy crap, these guys are killer. And then they became one of my favorite bands. And, since then I've seen them 50 plus times and got to meet them and everything several times. And it's just, yeah, they had a huge impact on what I wanted to be, as a musician. I learned how to play guitar, playing along to Kiss albums, and yeah, it's just so yeah, Elvis and Kiss were my two big influences.
Awesome. Yeah. And now Gene Simmons has moved recently into Washington and pretty close to you, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to hunt his ass down and stalk him or something.
There you go. When you find out, let me know.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll put a
stalk him with
post out.
you.
I got his address, people.
I'll drive up there and I'll swing by your place and then we'll go find his.
There we go. We'll hunt him down. We'll kidnap him and bring him over here and make him sign a bunch of shit.
That's right. Yeah. Maybe we'll get him to do an interview too. Hey.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, wonderful. Well, gosh, Steve, it's been awesome talking to you. So, what is coming up in the future? Do you have things planned out right now, sort of, or are you just sort of all in the waiting, holding pattern like
Well, as far as metal church goes, we're all kind of in this holding pattern. I mean, there's so much work and time, effort, and energy that goes into setting up a tour or even just a show. It's just so hard right now to try to commit to anything. We've tried things, this year there's been a few things that have been brought to the table, and it's like, yeah, we could, maybe we could do that. And then, the governor puts a shutdown on it, and it's just like, it's happened so many times that it's just not even worth trying to do anything until this thing is all over and we can get back to business as usual. Now that's as far as Metal Church is concerned. Now, Sin Circus and Alive 85, we're staying up to date. We're rehearsing. We're keeping everything, the engine all fine tuned and ready to go. So when we do get the green light, we're going to be the first ones, on the mark. And we got our sights set right now in March. The first week or two of March, both Sin Circus and Alive 85 is scheduled to play Daytona Bike Week down in Florida.
Nice.
Yeah, and the promoter for that, Florida is pretty much wide open, and there's a couple of other states that things are going on, and the promoter for that is looking forward to us coming down there and then trying to book some other things around it. So, we're completely wide open and ready to go, and the second we get the chance to do it, we're going to be all over it. Metal Church, on the other hand, I think is going to wait for the dust to settle, and when that happens, everybody be raring to go and get back to doing what we do.
Yes, I agree. I know that we've had so many disappointments this year, just like we think we're going to get to play a show and then it's canceled. And then we think we're going to get another one and then it gets canceled.
Yeah, and it's so much work to get a show to happen, and to put all that work in the advertisement and the promotion, and then you start buying airfare. Unfortunately, Metal Church, we're from all over the place. We got guys in California, guys in Vegas, guys up here in the Seattle area. So for us to do a show, it's it's a major task just to get us all in one place, so we can do a show. To start buying plane tickets and getting hotel reservations, and then all of a sudden 3 weeks before the show is to happen, they're like, oh well, we can't do the show, we're sorry. And it's like, so in order to keep ourselves out of that situation, we're just gonna sit and wait for the dust to settle.
Yeah, I think that's all we can do right at this point in time. So how have you, other than just your music, has COVID been affecting you in other ways at all?
Oh, well, obviously it affects everything. My financial situation, like everybody else's, I never get sick, so I'm never worried about it. I'm one of those guys that, like, everybody around me is hacking and coughing and sneezing, and I'm just like, really, guys? But I never get sick. I never get the flu. I never get flu shots. I don't plan on getting the COVID shot. I have this thing called an immune system, and it works apparently probably from all those girls in the 80s. I don't know. But
Well, that's a good thing.
yeah, built up my immune system, all the smoky rooms and the chicks from the 80s.
Well, you had to have a good immune system against those and things in the 80s, right?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And it's paying off now, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I've spent a lot of time around my house getting things done around my home that I've always put off because I'm either out touring, or if I'm home and I'm not touring, it's like I'd rather be out riding my Harley or out on my boat or hanging out with friends or doing anything other than working on my house. But with all the free time, I've got my house painted, I got a new roof on it, I got new carpeting in, and so now my house is all snapped up tight. Now I need to get the fuck out of here and go play some music.
Yes, exactly. And hopefully we're going to all be doing that very soon. Um,
Let's hope so. Yeah.
yeah. So you guys also put out a new album right before
We
COVID
did.
happened too,
We
didn't
did.
you?
And once again, I'm prepared.
Yes.
Yeah, the latest album we did right here. I don't know. Can you see that all right?
I can see it. Raise it up just a little bit. From the vault. Awesome.
Yeah, Metal Church from the Vault. So what this is whenever we record an album, and I mean, I came in, I think the first album was 2003, was Weight of the World. Whenever we put out an album, we record way more songs than we need for the album. So we have a stockpile of, anywhere from 3 to 8 or 9 songs that didn't make that album. And, we've got, I've been in the band now for, well, how many years it was, but I can't even count the albums I'm on yet.
Not
But
20,
well,
20 years.
yeah, I'm not sure how many I've been on, but there's been a lot of them. And we've taken all those extra songs that didn't make the albums. And it's not that they weren't good songs. That's not why they didn't make the album. They just didn't fit in quite as well as the other 10 or 12 songs that we put on the album that worked better together. The other ones were still great songs. They just didn't quite fit into that package. And so what we did is over, 5, 6, 7, 8 albums, whatever it's been now, we have this stockpile of all these extra songs. And so we went back in the studio and Kurt remastered and remixed everything. And then a lot of the stuff was songs that we recorded when Ronnie was a singer. So we had to take his vocals off, and Mike Howe had to go in and record his vocals and then put it on it, mix them down. So that's why it's called From the Vault. It's all these songs that we've had pre-recorded from years and years, over the years. And on top of that, we did some cover songs, and I can't even tell you what the hell they are right now. But let's see here. I know there's a Nazareth song on here. There's a old Black Betty song on here. Anyway, we did the first time Metal Church that ever did anything like that. We recorded 4 or 5 cover songs, and then there's like 2 new songs that were written specifically for the album. So it's kind of this big compilation snowball of old shit that was remixed, remastered. Mike came in and sang, and a couple of new tunes that were recorded specifically for the album, and then the 4 or 5 cover tunes that we recorded. And we put this thing out called Metal Church from the Vault. And one of the things that was pretty cool, and I can't remember if this came out from the Vault or it was Damned If You Do, but we're actually comic book characters now. We have our own comic book.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, not only do I wear a cape in my Elvis show, but I'm a superhero in a comic book now as well.
But that's pretty cool. I mean, I'm just saying, I always tell people that they've never seen Wonder Woman and I in the same place. So
There you go. It makes you think, huh?
it does. So gosh, so the best way right now to go and support Metal Church is go out, buy the album From the Vault. Since you didn't get to really go out and promote it a lot, that would be an awesome way to help you guys out right now, is go out.
That's an awesome way to help any band out right now, is to get on their websites and buy their albums, because that's the only thing that they got going right now. I mean, that's it. There is no shows.
And then look up Steve Unger's Facebook and then go vote for Derek Unger for Vocalist of the Year.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then as far as the metal church stuff is concerned, the best way to order any of the stuff is to go either to our metal church, the official metal church website, or you can go to Rat Pack Records, and everything is available right there. And there might even be fan packages left. I don't know if Rat Pack still has the fan packs left, but those things, they come out with things like the official metal church picks, this
Right.
so they got picks and posters and comic books and stickers and bumper stickers and everything else that kind of come with those things, t-shirts, yeah. Anyway, that's mostly available through Rat Pack Records. So if you search Rat Pack and then you search Metal Church, you'll find basically all of our stuff that we've done.
Great. Well, is there anything else that you want to tell anybody out there before we sign off?
Just hang in there, man. It can't get any worse, right?
That's right. Good.
Yeah, let's just get back to having fun and living life the way we like to do things here in America, and the rest of the world for that matter. But you know what? Just be cool to everybody. Don't be a dick, and love one another, man. That's the most important thing you can do right now. And just sit tight, and we'll get through this thing sooner or later.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Steve. I am just so thrilled that I got to sit down with you today, and I really appreciate your time. Um,
Right on. Well,
and
thank you for having me.
oh, I absolutely. It was such a pleasure. But thank you so much.